Hello and welcome to O2's Inside Line. I'm Vernon Kay and I am very, very happy and delighted, overwhelmed in fact, to be here at the Mitsubishi Motors England Rugby Training Centre. We have got two of England's finest who are going to stand and chat with us. Yeah, you can applaud. There's a few people. You can Chris Robshaw, Dan Cole, of course. Welcome, fellas. Welcome. First of all, how are you feeling? Because Saturday was an epic game against South Africa. Everyone talked about the physicality of the South Africans, and let's be honest, we put it to them. How are you feeling? How was Sunday morning?
Yeah, it was quite tough getting out of bed. It was a physical game, like with the conditions. The weather, there was a lot of running, a lot of kick chase involved, so there's a lot of tired bodies over the past couple of days, but no, we're recovering well and on to Fiji.
Been a lot of talk about how physical they actually were going into the game, how they are as a team. Big lads, a lot of big lads. Were they everything that you expected about them to be?
Yeah, I think so. You ask anyone who has played internationally and they say the hardest team and the most physical team is always South Africa. Whenever you play them, you look at the size of their pack and stuff, and generally they come pretty route one. So yeah, we managed to stop that well on the weekend, and like Dan said, there's a couple of sore bodies, but we're looking forward to this weekend now. A big training day tomorrow, and yeah, can't wait again.
Dan, one question I want to ask you is, when you're stood there in the pack and you're getting ready to go head to head, what's going through your mind as you look down at these massive fellas that you've got to push back? Keep it clean.
Yeah, you just you're thinking about your training and just getting things right. You just try and block everything, like say scrum time, whenever it is. You're trying to get your foot position right, all that kind of boring stuff, and then especially like the first scrum, you don't really know what to expect, so you just try and not think too much about it and just get on with it, and then after that you can sort of change and make change on the hoof.
Nice. And the anticipation towards the game, we hadn't beaten South Africa for 10 years. It was massive. A lot of people were saying that if we can beat them, we can knock on. We've got Fiji, obviously, this week, and then we've got Argentina, and then we've got the Australians. Beating South Africa, obviously it's given us a lot of momentum. We're going into the Fiji game, who we haven't lost against. How does the psychology between the games now, how does it change? Is there anything different going against the Fijians? And no disrespect to Fiji, but we have beaten them every time we play.
I think with the last game, there was so much build-up from the players' point of view. Our summer camp, the camp kind of 6 weeks ago, the last 2 weeks, everything we've done so far has been kind of South Africa focused and about how we wanted to beat them, how we wanted to tackle, how we wanted to play ball in hand, what do we want to kick. So of course now into the Fiji week, it's Monday now, and we've got to switch over straight away. We've reviewed the games this morning, and then this afternoon it's all kind of, like I said, focused towards Fiji and moving in that direction. I
don't want to go into too much detail because obviously we're in camp and Eddie likes keeping everything private. But when you sit watching film with him, what's he like? Is he like really jovial? Is he nitpicky? Is he pointing things out? Are there some people who end up red-faced when they walk out of the film meetings?
There's a bit of both, isn't there? Because it's sort of split between the coaching staff taking the reviews. Like forwards will split and do our bit, and backs will do whatever they do. But yeah, no, Eddie, he sort of has he knows what he wants, and he gets his point across well about how he wants it. But he also is quite happy to.
He seems very methodical. He's got a strict game plan.
Eddie kind of gives the overview of how we want to play as a team, and then like Dan said, it's broken down. The forwards would go off with Steve, defensively Guzzy, and the backs. Eddie, is that?
Eddie, yeah.
And then we'll go in a bit more detail and stuff. But Eddie is kind of that overview early on in the week. He sets the tone of how we want to go about our business and doing it.
All right, nice. Well, whilst we are broadcasting live, you've got two options on the sets of questions that we're going to ask the fellas. You can either ask them about life away from rugby, and you can vote on our Facebook page as well, or you can ask them about food.
He's a big eater.
Yeah, food. So it's food or life away from rugby. You decide. You place your votes on our Facebook page. We've already got lots of questions from a lot of people, the majority of them being the Rose Army. So let's kick off with John Rufford. He says, how did it feel beating South Africa for 10 years? We briefly touched on it, but do you get to have a swift beer afterwards? Or?
Yeah, afterwards in the change room. We'll, there's a couple of beers in there, just celebrate the new caps, celebrate the victory, and it's probably the only time really you get to actually sit together as a squad, as a management, everyone in there, and just enjoy what you've done.
Sigh of relief and then kick on. So when's the gear change? Is it Sunday afternoon?
I think people probably assume that you get into the change room and everyone's going pretty crazy, but people get in there and everyone's just exhausted, aren't they? Okay. Everyone's sat down, having a couple of quiet beers together, toasting the new boys, the 50th, whatever that may be, and then you're doing your recovery, and then it's straight on to the next week really. So it's in the ice bath for 10 minutes or the cryo chamber, something like that. And trying to move forward as quickly as possible.
All right, good stuff. Scott Dodley, he says, from the Rose Army as well. He asked, who's got the best more for Movember in camp? Is anyone doing it?
I think Dylan Hartley is the only person doing it,
Okay.
So I'd have to say him.
All right, fair enough.
But you're going to cut yours in later on, aren't you?
Are you?
Mine's blonde, so you can't see it. So.
I can't even grow one, it's unbelievable. Darren Revel says, question for Chris, what training do you do to give you any energy? Is there any training that you do to give you extra energy prior to a game? Is there anything that you do, kind of extra stretching or stuff?
In the warm-up, I like to just do a bit of everything, whether that's kind of passing, high balls, kind of competing on the floor, a little bit of tackling, just to kind of get a full base. In terms of actual spikes, as a team now, we try to warm up a little bit quicker than we used to, so hopefully we can have our second wind by the time we get to the game, so you get straight into the game and you can keep going instead of kind of getting 5-10 minutes in and being like, I'm completely blowing out of breath. Now we like to hit us.
Nice. Now, one question I want to ask you guys, obviously, because you're in the thick of it. How heavy do you do pre-game tackling? You know, when you hit each other, when you run up to each other. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard do you hit each other? Because a game like Sunday, you know you're going to get battered, so you've got to get prepared for it. Yeah. How heavy do you hit each other in pre-game?
It depends. Man for man, we do a lot of sort of technical, because obviously we sort of early doors to just warm up, sort of shoulder on hits. And then you might do a couple of low body hits, but you probably don't go 100%.
Running into the goalpost.
Because
we hear a couple of bags kind of fill on,
Yeah.
but live stuff not
too much.
Probably like 70%
But you just
or something.
technique stuff, yeah. The bloke runs at you. I had to go with Mako at the weekend, so thankfully you went to I'm not going there. There's no 100% there.
No, it sends a shiver down your spine, anyway. Wow. Oh my goodness me. Wow. All right, Stephen Farrell says, a question for both of you. Seems to be a strong bond in the team. Is this the secret to Eddie Jones's success?
Yeah, we as a team we get on well together. We're in camp for.
You've been together quite a while now, really. The majority of players, the core of the team.
Yeah, exactly. Well, myself and Dan have been rooming together for how long?
4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years. So yeah, you're together for a long time. There's a good team room. We go out for dinner quite a lot. Guys play cards, FIFA, pool, whatever.
I think Eddie picks guy. He understands what the sort of dynamics of the squad and stuff like that, and he understands people. People that come into the squad have to fit into the squad, and people get on. And it's about the squad effort for. It might be the 15 that start, the 23 that's in the matchday squad, but it's the 32. It's the bigger squad that gets you to where you are. So I think he has, he understands that he needs good players, but also good people in that group, and that's where you press on with. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick break. There's a tackle bag down there, a tackle trolley. What's that called?
A hit sled.
A hit sled. Thank you very much. Cheers. All right. You got to see if you can hit it. You can throw it or you can kick it. It's up to you.
Go on, Chris.
We're both experienced kickers. So
we've got a lot of balls. We've got a lot of balls here. So
we've got a lot of balls. So we oh, hello! It's coming in.
Oh yeah, mine was bad.
Yeah, nice.
It's curling. It's curling.
Here we go. I'm going to have a go.
Just throw it.
Hang on.
Oh, he's done nailed it as well.
Bounce over.
Oh. How many are we doing, by the way?
Just keep going.
Until someone gets it.
You just stick to what you're good at, Dan.
Yeah.
Just go and run at it.
Just scrimmage against it, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the American football, eh?
Yeah,
that's it.
You know.
Well, I'm not. Everything's going that way.
Well, nearly. Well, just quickly, when Dan threw his, someone opened the window. Oh, there you go. Oh, nearly. All right, let's take more questions.
No, I'm keeping going.
All right, you keep going. Right, Jeff Kay, no relation.
Yep.
Who would win in a game of man versus food between you both?
What's the food?
Yeah.
Whatever you want to eat.
Oh, I don't know. I've got a big
if
sweet
it's healthy,
tooth.
I'd probably win, but it's sweet.
I reckon if it's pick and mix, I reckon I could do that. But I reckon if
you don't need pick and mix, do you?
I do like a pick and mix.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Once
nice
a year.
cinema.
At
yeah,
Christmas.
once a year when you treat yourself.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'd back down, I think.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, people have voted on our Facebook page, and we're going to ask you questions about life away from rugby.
Ooh.
Okay. So first up, quick fire. What other sports or hobbies do you enjoy, Dan?
American football.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's your team?
Tampa Bay. Less about that better.
Chris?
Golf and football.
And what do you play off?
About 18.
Who's your football team?
Arsenal.
Music. What chill-out tunes do you like to listen to when you're relaxing? Hang on, let's go back. You've been rooming for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Who chooses the music in the room?
We're in an up-down,
Yeah,
so
we've
we've got
different
like an apart suite kind of thing, so we're lucky. We're the lucky
do you
ones.
have a maisonette, boys? Okay. What are your psych-up tunes? I like that one.
Come on, Chris.
What's psych-up tunes?
Quick fire.
I don't know.
Quick
Yeah.
fire.
I'm trying to think.
Do you use music as a motivator?
No, I think you're just on the bus for a long time, aren't you?
Yeah.
You just need to be focused with something. Yeah. I think when you get to the stadium, everyone's so pumped, everyone's so ready. You're playing in front of 80,000 people, you get off the bus and the buzz is there. It's almost just staying calm.
Yeah.
And just when the moment comes, you know, once you start warming up, you'll be there because you prepared all week, you prepared kind of all year to be in that setup. And once you get there, yeah, you are ready. I don't think you necessarily need the music.
And in the locker room, is it headphones or is it stereo in the corner?
It's headphones.
Yeah.
We have a quiet change room.
Yeah, music afterwards.
Okay. How would friends best describe you?
Well, apart from the obvious, good looking. Probably, I don't know, sarcastic, dry.
I'd say a dry sense of humour.
Yeah, thank you.
Chris, how do you think your friends would describe you? You're a lovely lad.
Yeah, there you go, I'll take that.
Yeah, there you go, I'll have that. Favourite room in the house, Dan?
The front room.
Right. Chris?
Yeah, same.
Favourite box set, Dan?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I quite like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Chris?
I've just watched Narcos, so that.
Very good. What are 5/7s?
35.
Good lad. Do you have a skincare routine?
That's what we do off the field. Yeah, it's called scrummaging, and like when it collapses, your face gets rubbed through the dirt. So that's how I exfoliate.
Does Twickenham have that plastic stuff?
No, thankfully, yeah. It's
a little bit, yeah,
it?
but only a tiny amount.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't
It stood up well on Saturday, didn't it?
That's a great surface.
Yeah, fantastic. What makes you laugh, apart from comedy?
Just Chris.
I like awkward moments. So like Dan's joke there. Awkward humour.
We're going to bring in the infamous Facebook Live whiteboard because we've got loads of questions, some on the tablet and some here. Mel Moose says, will you deal with a player, how do you deal with a player like Ndolo? What is he, 6'5", 22.5 stone, and he plays on the wing?
The best thing is to stay out of the way.
Yeah,
he's
hopefully we won't be
he's a winger.
Yeah.
So if I'm out wide, there's something going wrong. So just don't get in the line of fire.
An amazing specimen of a human being that there.
Yeah.
Isn't
Oh
it?
yeah.
I mean, oh my goodness.
And he's massive. No, just go low and hit and hope.
Ben Dinsdale says chicken nuggets or doner kebab off season.
Nuggets.
Nuggets, yeah.
Do you crave junk food when you're in camp?
Not really.
Because you have it.
Get someone to nip it for you now.
There's a lot on the rest of the road.
You don't need it, but yeah, you occasionally have a bit of a sweet tooth because obviously our diet's fairly controlled, but towards the end of the week you might indulge yourself a bit.
I'm going to ask you a question. This one's from me. Vernon Kay says, because you do so much cardio, and obviously you're naturally big lads, how many calories do you have to consume in a day? Because I'm trying to put on weight and I'm eating like a pig and nothing's happening.
Yeah, I think we probably between 3,000 and 3,500 a day. But obviously it depends on the day and stuff. Yeah. Tuesdays are heavier days, so we'll have kind of more carbs, more protein shakes, stuff like that, bigger meals. We go out for meal actually Tuesday night as well. So then
some of us put on weight a bit more easily than others, so you have to kind of look after yourself first part of the week, try not to eat too much, then you can ramp it up towards the end of the week.
Pre-match, is your pre-match meal almost the one the night before, or is breakfast really important on game day?
Breakfast it depends what time kick-off is. Like the 2:30 kick-offs, I try not to overeat at breakfast. Or you have a sort of enough, and then you have a small pre-match, which probably like spaghetti bolognese, something like that, and then because you don't want to overeat then. But yeah, normally it's the day before, like a Friday night. You'll try and eat enough without being bloated or too heavy for the game.
Right. Okay. Darren Entwistle says, Dan, tips for a 13-year-old prop. Good question. I like that. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Darren.
Scrum. No. It's enjoy the game. I started playing at 12, 13, and it's just enjoy the game. Really, I think it's the same advice for anyone. It's not so much, it's the technical aspect of the game and prop and stuff like that, but just enjoy it.
All right. So we're going to take on Fiji this weekend. Just quickly before we close down, and thank you very much for watching. By the way, you've been awesome. What can we expect from them, and what can we expect from England?
Yeah, I think with the Fijians, I think everyone knows how dangerous they'll be. Kind of broken field, everyone's seen them in the sevens and stuff, and a lot of their players there will be, I'm sure, on the pitch on Saturday. But I think over the last kind of year or so, and as we experienced in the World Cup, they've got an extremely good set piece now as well. Whereas before they just kind of had that broken field and natural ability. They've now got a very good set piece to complement that, so it'll be a tough day.
Looking forward to it, Dan?
Yeah, certainly. I'll say they've got some, I was found at the World Cup, they've got some big players on the wing, but also in the forward pack that, you know, they'll take you on directly, and then they've got the ability to, in the back line and stuff, that, you know, the flair, the sevens ability to play. So, you know, we'll have to be, it's definitely it's a different challenge to African, challenge for the previous week, but it's a massive one for us because, you know, we want to keep improving and evolving, and, you know, I'm sure our game plan will be tailored for this week.
All right, fellas, look forward to it. Good luck again.
Thank
you very much. Thanks for that. Chris, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching our Facebook Live. O2's Inside Line. We will be back very, very soon. Cheers. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Yes.